Hey guys, this is Jonathan from Fitness for Freedom. Today we are going to show you the first steps that you need to take to learn how to do a pull-up. All right, so in order to be good at pull-ups, you have to be good at your shoulder stabilizing muscles, or you have to have good control of your shoulder blade muscles. So what I mean by that is you have to have a good shoulder blade protraction and then retraction. And once you have that sort of mastered, then you have a better opportunity or a better chance at being able to do pull-ups. So what we want you to do is to do exercises to help you get that good shoulder blade control now at a low resistance, so that when you go to do pull-ups, you're more likely to be successful. So the first exercise, or one of the ones I recommend most people start with, is something like the bow and arrow, where you have a relatively low resistance band or a lightweight, where you can really squeeze your shoulder blade down and back and get used to doing that motion. Okay, and even this, even doing a light weight or light resistance like this, you should be able to feel in your upper back as you do this, even if you're super uber strong and you can already do 10 or 15 pull-ups in a row. You should still feel that a little bit. Okay, so once you can do about 15 of those for a warm-up or something, I would recommend going to a bent over row. Okay, so we have the exact same type of an idea where you have a good stance, knees bent, bum down, back, keep your elbow in tight, and you're going to row the weight up. Okay, so this is a good exercise for you to practice the movement. If you wanted to try a different variation that targets your muscles a little bit differently, you can do in what I would call an overhand grip row. Okay, where you have to squeeze your shoulder blade down and back. Now that gets your rhomboids a little bit more involved, and I would actually recommend doing those as well, or some combination of those. Now, once you can get to, with a neutral grip, once you can get to about 12 to 15 repetitions of around 25% of your body weight, then you can start thinking about doing the Vermont pull-up, which is a pull-up laying down on the floor. All right, so once you can do a bent over row with about 25 to 30% of your body weight for about 12 repetitions, then you're ready to try the horizontal or Vermont style pull-up. So in order to do the Vermont or horizontal style pull-up, you will need some sort of a parallel bar or dip bars, or these equalizers that I have here, or a Smith machine at the gym, something like that, that allows you to lay down and pull yourself up. Now, if you don't have access to these, that's okay. Just keep increasing the weight on the bent over row, or maybe you have a place where you can do a seated row, is anything where you're doing your shoulder blade squeeze. Okay, so to do this properly, you're going to first stage, grab your hands over top of the bar, and then you're going to lift your hips up, glute bridge style, and then pull yourself up till your chest touches the bar, and then lower yourself back down, okay? So you can keep going up and down. Once you can do maybe 10 or 12 of those, the next step of difficulty would be with your legs straight, and then it's the exact same exercise, okay? So if you wanted to get even more fancy or increase the difficulty a little bit more, you can use the stability ball. So by putting your feet on a stability ball or on a bench, you can do it, and this just increases the difficulty even more again, okay? So once you can do maybe 8 or 10, I'm a little bit making these up because you have to use trial and error, but once you can do about 8 to 10 of those with your feet on the ball, then you're probably ready to attempt doing some vertical pull-ups or some hanging pull-ups, and you'll probably be able to start right out of the gate being able to do at least a couple. All right, so once you've mastered your shoulder stabilizing muscles, or you're able to really squeeze your shoulder blades down and back, and you're confident in your upper back strength, then you're ready to start doing a pull-up. Now, what I recommend, or what I like people to start with the most, is to use the band when they're starting. So the band is a circular band like this, so it's attached all the way around, and it's a good thickness. Now, they're all slightly different tensions, or they offer slightly different bits of resistance. So obviously the heavier the band, then the easier the pull-up's going to be, because it's taking the weight, or the weight of your body. I like the green band for most people. Once you get above this resistance, then it becomes a little bit too bouncy, it can throw you up into your ceiling pretty hard if you're even a little bit strong. And we really want to avoid that, because I don't want anyone hitting their head on the ceiling. Okay, so now you loop it around, okay? So it's nice and sturdy, just like that. And what you're going to do is place your knee or your foot into the band. I like knee because it's a little bit easier to actually get set up, but it takes a little bit less, or gives you a little bit less help because you're not pulling the band down quite as far, so there's less tension on the band. So you have to play with it a little bit to see what works for you. Now, just like if you're starting to do a pull-up without the band, I recommend neutral grip if it's an option. Otherwise, underhand grip would probably be your next best bet or the easiest way for you to do the pull-up. Now, just like you're doing a regular pull-up without the band, all the same principles apply. You're going to hang, full hang, your shoulder blades come down and back first, and then you're going to pull yourself up till your chest touches the bar, and then let yourself come back down, okay? And you'll do as many of those as you can. So hopefully that's around 8 to 12 or a little bit more, and then you're ready for the next variation up, or a harder variation up, which would be a thinner band, or doing only negatives, or trying to attempt actual real pull-ups without the band. Okay, now let's say you don't have the band, or the band is not a viable option for you. Then I recommend you do negative pull-ups. So negative pull-ups are just basically doing the down portion of the pull-up more slowly. So that'll look like this. You'll want to stand on a chair or jump up off the floor so it's easy for you to get up, or easier for you to get up, and then let yourself down as slowly as possible until your arms go all the way straight. And by doing that, it still is a lot of work to let yourself come down very slowly, so your muscles are really working hard, but it's easier than doing a full pull-up up and then letting yourself down as slowly. Now, one thing that I see a lot of people do that's what I would consider incorrect or not very effective when doing a pull-up is that they'll come down and they'll get up okay, and then they'll get to about this point, and then it gets really hard, and then they'll just fall to the floor like that. Well, believe it or not, this is the part that you need to work on the most, or most people need to work on the most, is when their elbow's sort of at that distance. So really fight that resistance to just fall, and try to let your arms go all the way straight. And by letting your arms go all the way straight, then it becomes a much more effective way to do the exercise. If you found this video helpful, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, because we deliver content just like it every week. If you have any comments or questions about how to improve your pull-ups, please leave them in the box below. Take care, and we'll talk to you next time.